You're the broke sibling. You'll always be the broke sibling. My brother said it in front of everyone. Our parents. Our cousins. The entire dinner table. He smiled when he said it, like it was a joke. It wasn't. 3 months later, I stood in a glass-walled conference room downtown. The Realtor placed a set of keys in my hand. Unit 14C. The luxury penthouse condo my brother Derek couldn't stop talking about. The one he'd posted on social media 47 times. The one he called his dream home. He was sitting across from me, staring, frozen, because the Realtor had just announced that I was the buyer. All cash, closed that day. How did the family failure end up with his dream home? Let me take you back to where it started. Before we go further, drop your country and the time right now in the comments. And if you've ever been underestimated, hit that like button. You're going to want to see how this plays out. Growing up, I was invisible. Derek was the golden child. Straight A's, business degree, new car at graduation. Our parents framed his college acceptance letter. Mine went in a drawer. I didn't go to the fancy school. I went to work, 2 jobs. Night shifts at a warehouse, weekend gig doing data entry. I put myself through community college 1 class at a time. Nobody noticed. Derek got the praise. The toasts, the proud phone calls to relatives. I got, well, at least you're trying. But I did one thing differently. I saved everything. Every paycheck. Every tax refund. I lived in a studio apartment with second-hand furniture and a laptop older than some of my coworkers. I met a man named Richard at the warehouse. He was 63, drove a 15-year-old Toyota, and owned 4 rental properties. He taught me about cash flow, about credit, about patience. Loud money disappears, he told me. Quiet money compounds. I listened. I kept every bank statement, every paycheck stub, every receipt. I'm not sure why. Maybe I always knew I'd need proof. Derek's life looked like success. New clothes, leased SUV, dinner photos at expensive restaurants. Mine looked like failure. But I was building something, slowly, silently. Derek had no idea what I'd been building. And I liked it that way, until he tried to take it. Derek called me on a Tuesday. Let's grab coffee. I want to run something by you. We met at a place downtown. He ordered an $8 latte. I got drip. He looked good, confident, polished suit. I found the investment of a lifetime, he said. Brand new luxury building, Unit 14C. Penthouse level. View of the whole city, I nodded. It's going to double in value in 3 years. Maybe less. That's great, I said. Here's the thing. He leaned in. My debt-to-income ratio is a little high right now, temporarily. I need you to co-sign the loan. I blinked. It's just paperwork, he said quickly. You won't pay a dime. I've got the income. I just need your signature to smooth things out with the bank. I felt something tighten in my chest. I don't think that's a good idea, I said. His smile faded. What? I'm not comfortable co-signing. He stared at me. You're serious? Yeah, he sat back. His face changed. You've never taken a risk in your life, he said. That's why you're broke. I stayed quiet. You live in that sad little studio. You drive that piece of junk. You're 30 years old and you've got nothing. I didn't respond. This is why no one takes you seriously, he said. He stood up. Don't come crying to me when you need help someday. I'll remember this. He walked out. Left me with the bill. 2 weeks later, there was a family gathering. A cousin's birthday. Derek was the center of attention. He told everyone I'd refused to help family. I asked for one favor, he said. Just a signature. And he said no. He shook his head. Looked sad. Some people hold grudges from childhood. I guess I can't fix that. My parents looked at me, disappointed. My cousin Laura frowned. That's cold, she said quietly. I didn't defend myself. What was I supposed to say? Then Derek stood up, raised his glass. Good news, he said. I closed on the condo anyway. Last week. Everyone cheered. Congratulations. You're killing it, Derek. He looked across the table at me. Some people are takers, he said. Some are givers. I know which one I am. The room agreed. I sat there, silent, small. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was just scared. Just small. I left early. No one noticed. I went home and pulled out the folder. The one I'd been keeping for 5 years. Inside was an envelope I hadn't opened yet. It had arrived 2 weeks earlier. From the family attorney. I thought I'd lost, but I hadn't read the letter yet. I opened it that night. Letterhead from Morrison and Lyle, the firm that handled our grandmother's estate. Retrust distribution, maturity notice. I read it twice. Our grandmother had set up a trust for both of us. Equal amounts. Kept quiet per her instructions until we each turned 30. I'd turned 34 months earlier. The fund had matured. My balance, $340,000. I stared at the number. Derek's balance was listed below mine, 0. He'd withdrawn his entire half years ago. Burned through it. Mine had been sitting there, growing, untouched. There was a handwritten note inside. My grandmother's shaky cursive. Give it to the one who doesn't need to brag. I sat there for a long time. Derek knew. He had to know. He'd blown through his trust and assumed I was too ignorant to know mine existed. That's why he needed me to co-sign. Why he was flipping the condo. He thought I was broke. But I wasn't. I'd never been. And now Derek was about to find out. 2 weeks later, Derek posted photos of the condo. Hardwood floors. Floor-to-ceiling windows. City skyline? The family group chat exploded. Stunning. So proud of you. He replied with a shrug emoji. Just staying humble. Then he sent me a private text. Flipping this in 6 months. Buyer interest is already insane. You could have been part of this. I didn't reply. 3 days later, another text. Need a bridge loan. $20,000, short term. I'll pay you back with interest when I sell. I left it on read. He sent a follow-up an hour later. Typical. You'll leech off this family forever. Then he posted in the group chat again. Some people are so bitter they can't celebrate others' success. It's sad. My mom called. Honey, I think you should let go of the past. Your brother is trying. He's doing well. I listened. It wouldn't hurt to support him, she said gently. I told her I'd think about it. That night, Derek's Realtor posted the listing. Under contract, backup offers welcome. He was selling already. I smiled. Because I'd already made a call. I called a Realtor friend. Quiet guy. Doesn't ask questions. Can you pull public records on a property for me? He sent them over the next morning. Derek's condo purchase was leveraged to the ceiling. 5% down, the rest financed. But that wasn't the worst part. The mortgage had 2 co-signers. Our parents. They'd put their names on his loan. Without telling me. If Derek defaulted, their retirement account was on the line. My friend sent a second file. Credit report summary. Not illegal. Derek had applied for a loan using him as a reference, so it was part of the disclosures. Total unsecured debt, $89,000. 3 maxed credit cards, 2 auto loans, 4 delinquencies, and a pending lawsuit from a former business partner, $14,200. Active case. Derek wasn't flipping for profit. He was flipping to survive. The dream condo was a house of cards. And my parents were caught in the blast radius. I could have walked away. But our parents didn't deserve to lose everything because Derek couldn't stop pretending. He wasn't going to stop. So I had to. I reached out to the family attorney, Mr. Morrison. We met at his office. I need to understand something, I said. Did Derek ever try to access my trust? He looked at me for a long moment. Then he slid a file across the desk. 3 years ago, he said. He petitioned to have you removed as a beneficiary. Argued you were financially irresponsible. I stared at the paper. I denied it, Morrison said. Your grandmother's instructions were clear. No substitutions. No amendments. There was another document beneath it. He also asked about transferring management of the estate to himself. Said he was better equipped. You denied that too. Correct. I exhaled. Derek's entire identity was built on being the golden child, the successful one. And underneath it, he was drowning. The insults, the cruelty, the public shaming. It wasn't sibling rivalry. It was survival. He needed me to look small so no one would look at him. He didn't hate me, I said quietly. Morrison nodded. He hated that you were free. I stood up. Now I knew exactly what to do. I transferred $150,000 from the trust into a new LLC, registered it under a neutral name. Nothing flashy. Then I contacted Derek's listing agent. I'm interested in Unit 14C. Private buyer. All cash. She sounded excited. We're under contract, but I can check if the buyer is open to backup offers. I'll go $8,000 over asking, I said. Close in 10 days. No inspection. There was a pause. Let me make a call. 2 hours later, she called back. The seller accepted. He's very motivated. I smiled. Derek never asked who the buyer was. He just needed the cash to cover his margins, to pay off the credit cards, to stop the lawsuit. He didn't care. My attorney structured it cleanly. The LLC name wouldn't raise flags. Everything was legal. Everything was quiet. Closing was set for the following Monday. I didn't tell anyone. Not my parents. Not my friends. I wrote the offer on a Tuesday. He accepted by Thursday. Derek thought he'd won. Thought he'd flipped his way out of the hole. He had no idea he'd just sold his dream to me. Closing day. The title company had a glass-walled conference room on the 8th floor. Afternoon light poured in. Derek arrived first. New suit, confident smile. He was talking to his realtor about the next flip. His agent nodded along. Then our parents walked in. We came to support you, honey, Mom said. Derek hugged her. I walked in 2 minutes later. Derek's face tightened. What are you doing here? The realtor stood, smiled. This is the buyer. Silence. Derek stared. What? Your brother purchased the unit, she said brightly. All cash. Congratulations to both of you. I sat down, calm. Derek looked at his agent. At our parents? At me? This is a joke. Sir, the realtor said, the funds cleared yesterday. I pulled 3 documents from my bag. Placed them on the table. The wire confirmation? The LLC registration? The trust distribution letter. Our parents leaned forward. Where did you get this kind of money? Dad asked. Grandma, I said quietly. The trust you forgot about. Mom's hand went to her mouth. Derek's face drained. I had $340,000, I said. You had 0. You spent yours. The title officer slid the deed across to me. Then she placed the keys on the table. Congratulations, she said. Unit 14C is yours. I picked them up. Derek stood. You did this to humiliate me. No, I said. I did this to protect Mom and Dad. You co-signed them on a loan you couldn't afford. I'm paying it off. They're free. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. You were right, Derek. I never took risks. Until now. He turned, walked out. The door clicked shut. Our parents stared at me. We need to talk, Mom whispered. I met with our parents the next week. Just the 3 of us. I showed them everything. The credit report. The co-signer documents. The lawsuit. The petition Derek had filed to take my trust 3 years earlier. Mom cried. Dad sat in silence for a long time. We didn't know, he finally said. I know. We thought he was doing well. He wanted you to think that. I handed them a second document. A payoff letter for the mortgage. Paid in full from my trust fund. Your names are clear, I said. You're not responsible for anything anymore. Mom covered her face. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I said. I did. Derek went silent after that. Unfriended me on social media. Stopped coming to family events. No apology. No explanation. Just gone. I moved into the condo a month later. I didn't decorate it like a showpiece. I furnished it simply. One bedroom I kept for myself. The other I rented to a grad student who needed affordable housing downtown. It's home. Not a trophy. 6 months after closing, I launched a small foundation in our grandmother's name. First-time buyer grants for people who'd been overlooked. People who saved quietly. We funded 3 families in the first year. Derek sent me a text 8 months after the closing. 2 words. I'm sorry. I read it. I screenshotted it. I saved it. I didn't reply, not yet. Some wounds take time. Maybe someday I'll be ready to talk. Maybe not. But I'm not angry anymore. You don't need to prove you're not broken. You just need to stop letting broken people define you. Derek took a salaried job 6 months ago. Sold the leased car. He's working on his debt. I hope he makes it. I really do. Because quiet wealth isn't about winning. It's about being free. So tell me in the comments, have you ever been underestimated by your own family? What did you do? And if this story hit you, subscribe. There are more coming. One last thing. This is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. It is not legal or financial advice. I'm not the broke sibling. I never was. And now neither is he.